9,000 people died inside that building behind me, and the night clerk says most of them never checked out. Pretty chilling, right? Welcome back everyone to Haunts and Haunts America. This isn't just a spooky tale, it's the stark reality of Jerome, Arizona. Tonight, we're not just visiting a town, we're stepping back in time, daring to explore a place where the veil between worlds feels incredibly thin. Why Jerome? Jerome isn't just any old town. It clings precariously to the side of Cleopatra Hill, a mile above the Verde Valley, almost as if it's holding its breath. But when the mines finally closed their operations in 1953, the town emptied out almost overnight. The population plummeted to under 100, leaving behind a skeletal landscape of empty hospitals, gaping abandoned mine shafts, and, as many believe, a whole lot of angry, confused spirits. Jerome, once a booming economic hub, became America's largest ghost town, a title it still holds with a chilling pride. Tonight, we're not here for the living. We're walking these deserted, winding streets to see if this town truly belongs to the living, or if the dead still claim it as their own. The mine shafts, our journey into Jerome's dark heart, truly begins underground. We gear up, headlamps on, the REM pod already blinking erratically, a nervous energy in the air. We duck into the narrow, claustrophobic opening of the old UVX tunnel, and it's like stepping into another world. The air instantly drops 15 degrees, and the overwhelming smell of rusted iron fills your lungs, a heavy, metallic scent that whispers of past labor and peril. Local miners, the ones who know these tunnels intimately, will tell you about a timberman named Charlie. They say he tragically lost his head here in 1918, a gruesome mining accident that left his body in the darkness and his spirit forever searching. To this day, some superstitious folk still leave lunch pails at the entrance, a grim offering to appease him, hoping he won't follow them home. There are an astonishing 88 miles of these abandoned mine shafts weaving beneath Jerome's surface, and many believe Charlie still stalks them. Just 10 yards in, our audio recorder picks up something. A gravelly, guttural voice cuts through the silence. Get out. We replay it twice, no processing, just raw audio. What do you hear? It sends a shiver down your spine, a primal warning. Further down, in a section we thought was untouched, we discover fresh boot prints in the thick dust, leading only to a dead-end wall. No tracks coming back. How is that even possible? It's utterly baffling and undeniably unsettling. We call out, our voices echoing into the blackness. Charlie, are you with us? The REM pod, designed to detect electromagnetic fields, suddenly screams, its lights flashing wildly like a slot machine hitting the jackpot. Every single flashlight we carry dims, then brightens, then dims again, as if something unseen is draining the energy around us. I'm not saying it was Charlie, but something down there, something intelligent and powerful, wanted us gone. You can feel its presence, a heavy, suffocating weight in the darkness. Spook Hall back up on Main Street. The old Lawrence Memorial Hall sits quiet, almost unassuming. But don't let its current tranquility fool you. During Jerome's booming, lawless days, this was a very different place. Before it was a J.C. Penney, it was the site of a notorious line of cribs, small, cramped rooms where sex workers lived and often met tragic ends. It was here, in 1932, that a miner, fueled by anger or desperation, stabbed a young woman named Sammy in the throat, her blood soaking into the very floorboards we walk on today. Staff members who work in the building now often report hearing the distinct click of high heels across the empty linoleum floors, even when no one is there. And sometimes they catch a faint, sweet whiff of gardenias, Sammy's signature perfume, drifting through the air. We decided to set up an old-school cassette recorder on the counter, right where the cash register once rang during its J.C. Penney days. Within minutes, we captured it, a faint, humming tune, almost like a lullaby. No one in our crew was humming. The building was locked tight, and we were the only ones inside. If you listen closely, past the gentle melody, the tune ends with a wet, chilling cough that cuts off abruptly, as if a breath was suddenly stolen. It's a haunting sound, a tragic echo from the past. Sammy, we truly are sorry for what happened to you here. As we backed out, we left a single gardenia on the stairs, a small gesture of respect and remembrance for a life cut short too soon. Now, for the big one, the crown jewel of Jerome's haunted reputation, the Jerome Grand Hotel. This imposing 5-story structure opened its doors in 1927, not as a hotel, but as the United Verde Hospital, serving the rough and tumble mining community. It was a place of healing, yes, but also a place of immense suffering and death. It shut its doors in 1950 after nearly 9,000 people died within its walls, victims of horrific mining accidents, the devastating Spanish flu epidemic, and tragically, even botched surgeries. Converted into a hotel in the 90s, it still smells faintly of ether in the hallways, a ghostly reminder of its past as a place where life and death hung in the balance. Guests and staff alike report a constant symphony of the spectral, keys rattling, ethereal footsteps, and disembodied voices. You might hear the haunting wails and cries of former patients, the sounds of labored breathing, coughing, or even screaming from empty rooms. Room 32 is a definite hotspot, steeped in dark history. It's believed that a maintenance man named Claude Harvey was tragically dragged into the old Otis elevator shaft in 1935. The coroner, perhaps too quickly, ruled it an accident, but the suspicious bruises around Claude's neck whispered a different, far more sinister story. Many believe he was murdered. We checked in just as dusk began to paint the sky. The lobby clock, a grand old piece, stopped dead at 7:18, the exact minute the coroner logged Claude's time of death. Coincidence, or a chilling personal greeting from beyond? Up on the third floor, our SLS camera, a device that projects a grid of infrared light and maps human-like forms in 3D space, suddenly mapped a stick figure standing right at the elevator doors. To the naked eye, there was absolutely no one there, just the empty hallway. The figure, distinct and undeniable, appeared to wave, then abruptly collapsed to the floor. At that very same moment, the actual elevator car dinged, signaling its arrival. We chased the sound downstairs, our hearts pounding, only to find the car completely empty. But the emergency stop button was pressed in, and the mirror was smeared with what looked disturbingly like oily fingerprints. The front desk staff, with a weary but knowing glance, simply told us it happens every night. We tried a direct approach. "Claude," we asked, our voices hushed, "do you want us to tell your story?" A housekeeper's radio, crackling faintly nearby, responded with a single, clear word. Yes, clear as day, caught on camera. It was an undeniable, intelligent response. By midnight, we were locked into the old asylum ward, a place notorious for its residual despair. The air itself felt syrupy, heavy, and breathing became inexplicably difficult, a common sensation in highly active paranormal locations. My partner suddenly gasped, feeling a distinct, cold hand squeeze her shoulder. Yet there was no one, absolutely no one, within 6 feet of her. The REM pod, which measures fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, went completely berserk, its lights racing like a slot machine on overdrive, indicating a massive surge of energy. We left the recorder running when we finally stepped out, needing a moment to process the intensity. Playback later captured a faint, desperate whisper, "Don't go. I'm still here." Sunrise stained the windows a blood door in hue before we finally checked out, exhausted but exhilarated. Did we definitively prove ghosts exist? Maybe not in a scientific, universally accepted way, but something intelligent, something beyond our current understanding, answered our questions, interacted with our equipment, and made its presence undeniably known. And for me, that's more than enough. If you've ever stayed at the Jerome Grand, or even just passed through, what room were you in? What did you experience? Dawn broke, casting a soft, misty light over the Jerome Cemetery. Fog pooled between the weathered headstones, some dating back as far as 1897, others to 1942, each marking a life lived and lost in this rugged town. It's a somber, sacred place, yet locals often report seeing dark, fleeting figures darting behind crypts, and hearing the faint, chilling sound of children giggling near the baby graves, their laughter echoing from an unseen source. We walked the rows of tombstones, our dowsing rods held loosely, waiting for a sign. They crossed the small, unassuming plot of a 6-year-old child who died tragically in the 1918 flu epidemic. It was a heart-wrenching moment. We knelt and softly asked, "Are you afraid?" The rods, held by an unmoving hand, swung apart, then together again, forming a clear yes. It was a profound, emotional connection. A sudden, cold wind, seemingly from nowhere, lifted the brightly colored ribbons we had tied to a nearby tree as an offering. As we watched, one of those ribbons, impossibly, tied itself into a perfect, intricate knot, I wear gloves for these investigations, and I can tell you, I couldn't tie a knot like that with my bare hands, let alone gloved ones, in a sudden gust of wind. It was a deliberate, intelligent act. We left a small toy marble on the child's grave, a tiny token of our visit and respect, and backed away slowly. Sometimes, the most powerful evidence isn't a scream or a crash, but the smallest, most personal gesture from a spirit reaching out. If you want to see us explore the abandoned smelter ruins next, a place with tunnels that plunge 300 feet straight down, where the guards only look away once a week, then you absolutely need to smash that subscribe button. You do not want to miss that video. It's going to be wild. So, is Jerome, Arizona haunted? This town, built on a foundation of copper and blood, doesn't offer easy answers. Down in the oppressive darkness of the mine shafts, we felt undeniably watched, a palpable sense of an unseen presence. In the quiet, historic confines of Spook Hall, we recorded a haunting lullaby, followed by a chilling, desperate cough. And in the imposing Jerome Grand Hotel, we believe we spoke with something profoundly intelligent, that remembered its own tragic murder. You can add it up however you like, call it carbon monoxide, old, creaky wiring, or simply the collective, restless souls of 9,000 people who simply refuse to check out. But one thing is absolutely certain. When the sun finally sets, and the last tourist bus pulls away, leaving the streets empty and the old buildings silhouetted against the darkening sky, Jerome truly belongs to them. If you're brave enough to come up this mountain after dark, bring a flashlight, an open mind, and perhaps a small gardenia for Sammy. Because in Jerome, Arizona, America's largest ghost town, the past never, ever stays buried. What do you believe? Is it just tricks of the mind, or are these ancient copper-rich hills still screaming with the echoes of lives lived and lost? Tell us below. Hit that like button if you're a believer, and if you're not already subscribed, join the Haunts and Hunts America family so we can see you in the next haunted place.